Welcome, everybody, to That's WAC, where we talk about the Washington Administrative Code as it relates to early child care providers. It is Chapter 110-300, and today we're going to be going over WAC 110-300-0320. That is facilitating child interest, learning, perspective, and productivity. So, an early learning provider must work to maximize children's interest, engagement with developmentally and culturally responsive activities, and ability to learn from play. You heard that right, guys. They're not just babysitters. They should be engaging with children, doing activities with children, stuff like that. If you go to a place, if you're touring a place and you don't see teachers engaging with children, then that's just babysitting. Okay. A provider must maximize children's interest, engagement, and abilities by using techniques such as maximizing learning time with learning materials and products, limiting disruptions during activities, and offering additional choices when activities are completed. So, if they're doing a learning activity and a child is done, they should not be forced to sit at the table and wait for the other children to finish. Not a good provider if they're doing that. Which, unfortunately, a lot of teachers think that it's easier to keep all the children together and sitting down. It is not. There are more behavioral problems when you do that. So let them go play. Okay. Don't let them sit there and wait and be bored. Or give them another activity at the table if you really want them to sit at the table. You need to give clear instructions and directions, such as we are going to do this activity. When you are done, you may go to this and this center. Okay. Not you can run around the classroom and scream and hit your friends. They need clear instructions and directions, and making opportunities for children to learn during transitions by clearly communicating expectations and keeping transitions to a duration that is developmentally appropriate. So you should be communicating clearly and keeping transitions to a duration that is developmentally appropriate. So if you have a group of 2-year-olds, you should not have them sit down or transition from one activity to another activity. It shouldn't take 15 minutes. A developmentally appropriate transition for that age would technically be 2 minutes because they are 2 years old. However, 5 minutes is okay. I mean, that's more realistic, 5 minutes. But, and you don't all have to transition at the same time. Like, just get that child engaged in something else if you're trying to transition to something else. A big one that I see is having everyone stand in line. And if you have a child that is like, got my coat, I'm first in line, I'm ready to go. And then you have a child that dawdles and looks at things and gets distracted. Oh, I have to go to the bathroom. Oh, I've got to do this. And oh, I'm having trouble getting my coat. And it takes them 10 minutes to line up. You should not make that child that was there 30 seconds after you said line up, wait 10 minutes to go outside. You're going to get behavior problems. You're going to get children that are just pushing each other in line, yelling at each other. You know, if you can, if there are two of you, take a group of children out. The first, if you're with preschools, the first 10 children that were ready, take those out first. And then the rest can wait. And then if you can't do that, if you're by yourself, make it fun to be in line. Like do some songs, do some Simon Says, do something to get them engaged. A early learning provider must offer developmentally and culturally responsive activities that offer a range of auditory, visual, and movement opportunities by using techniques such as encourage child engagement. I'm going to pause. So it says auditory, visual, and movement opportunities. Those are different ways children learn. Not all children are going to use verbal communication with you just talking. Maybe they want pictures. A lot of children like to move around. Use different ways to teach the children so that the ones that don't learn that way don't feel like they're not learning at all. So you encourage child engagement. So you want the children involved. So if you're cleaning tables, spray it with soap and water and let them wipe it down. Involvement, easy, boom. Promote children's each child's self-help and social skills, organized around child interest and ideas. So don't make them do something they don't want to do. Like if they're not interested in trains, don't have a whole unit about trains. Allow choice, exploration, and experimentation. Promote active and play-based learning experiences. Allow children freedom to move during activities and ensure child expression. Utilize interesting and creative materials, offer hands-on opportunities for children, provide opportunities for children to direct their own learning and problem solving rather than teacher-led activities. What that means is they shouldn't all be in large group time. They shouldn't be moving from one group time to another. There should be time when they're going to different centers that you have set up with meaningful, developmentally and culturally responsive materials that they can explore safely and learn through that play without a teacher directing it. Like they're coming up with things, they're using their imagination, they're problem solving on their own. You can come in and like assist, but like you shouldn't be like, okay, we're gonna play this way with the dolls because that's how you play with dolls. If they want to pretend the dolls are garden gnomes in a garden and running amok, let them. Don't say that's not how you play with that. Who are you to say that's not how you play with that? I mean, if they're hurting someone, yes. But if they want to pretend like a wooden block is a phone and not build with it, let them do that. I don't, it really peeves me when teachers they try to be so controlling because they think it will minimize the chaos. And it just causes more chaos because you're limiting choices. You're not playing with the children. When you're down and engaged with them, you'll get a whole swarm of kids that come to you that want to play and get the teacher opinion and you'll minimize, things. You should be focused on the children, fully present, teaching them, learning with them, exploring with them. You shouldn't be standing by the teacher area cutting out things for a craft. You should have already done that. You shouldn't be, trying to set this up or that up. Like you should have already done all that. You should all be ready. And I know this is easier said than done, but it really allow them choice. I hate it when I go to centers and I see shelves covered up or a shelf with barely any toys on it. Or people, the place where I'm at now, they turn the shelves around so early in the day. And I'm like, what are these children supposed to do the rest of the day? You've taken all the toys, all the choices, all the learning opportunities away from them. So, of course, they're going to be wrestling and tackling and climbing on things they shouldn't be because you don't give them anything to do. Rant over. And then finally, orient and guide children towards learning objectives. So all the things you've set up in the classroom, you should be assessing children. They should be learning skills. You want to have them be able to learn things. So everything should be intentional and purpose and things like that. And have fun with kids. Like learn with stuff. Sit with them. You don't have to do this and that and the other. Like sit and build, and it's a lot more fun that way, honestly, instead of having to micromanage things. I love when I can just sit and play with children instead of having to manage behaviors because I have to clean the table for lunch. Like I hate that. But I mean, some things just have to be done. Anyway, it was supposed to be short and a little bit longer than usual because I ranted on, but that is WAC 110-300-0320. You guys have a good day and keep an eye out for good learning opportunities when you're doing tours and when you're applying for places. All right, bye.